I'm so stressed, I'm so anxious, I'm so frustrated, I'm so annoyed. Have you heard that? Do you say that? Do you feel that? What is stress? What is anxiety? What is that frustration and annoyment that builds, annoyment, there's a good word, I'm going to use that, annoyment that builds up inside your body and makes you feel uncomfortable. So your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your blood sugar levels go up, and you just don't feel at ease. Technically, that is called dis-ease. And of course, if you are highly stressed and you don't disperse the stress, you end up with high blood sugar levels. Those big molecules of glucose bang against your arteries, break them, wreck them, cholesterol sticks on them, and you end up with cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, type 2 diabetes, all the horrible things that happen if you don't disperse stress. But stress is the best thing that we could possibly have in our body. There's no such thing as good or bad stress. Have you heard that? Oh, that's a good stress versus bad stress. The chemical response that goes on inside your body when you are stressed is the same whether it's a good stress or a bad stress. So it could be your boss yelling at you, it could be a wild animal chasing you, it could be that you've just heard some really bad news, it could be that you just lost money. There's a whole heap of reasons why stress builds up in your body. It's called the catecholamine system, which is your body saying things aren't the way they should be. We need to bring them back to the way that they should be, homeostasis. So your hormonal system, your endocrine system goes into overload, overdrive, and you produce adrenaline, yeah, like the dogs. And that's a beautiful thing about the dogs. If they didn't get stressed, they wouldn't bark. They see something that's stressing them out, so they make a noise, which is really good if you want dogs for security, of course. Now, my dogs are mostly chilled, but when somebody's coming, when there's something happening, they bark because they're under stress. Their catecholamine system, adrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, goes into overdrive to make sure that they can fight or flight. Now, that's the beautiful thing. When you fight or flight, if you get away from the threat, if you overcome the threat, if you kill the threat, if it's a wild animal, then your body produces all those happy chemicals, which are serotonin, satisfaction. I can live my life because I'm alive. Isn't that awesome? What do you reckon? Look at them, tails wagging and barking at the same time. There's a good combination. Your brain gets dopamine, which is a reward. I ran away from the threat, I killed the threat, so you feel really good about yourself because you overcame a threat. There's endorphins, which are in your body when you're trying to get away from the threat, when you're aiming to kill it, which are pain-killing happy drugs, so you feel really good afterwards. And then there's this beautiful thing called brain-derived neurotropic factor, and I bang on about it every day. I think it's got to be the most amazing chemical inside the body, because that's the one that after you have overcome a threat, your body, your brain, my brain needs to be better for next time. So fertilizer goes throughout your whole body and says grow bigger, grow better, get better, so that if next time the threat is bigger, if the stress is higher, if the challenge is harder to overcome, if the tribe that's chasing you is bigger and going to kill you, or the wild animal is even bigger and it's going to threaten your life, you'll be better for next time. So that's the awesome thing about stress. It's really good for you. You wouldn't wake up if you didn't get stressed. My dogs wouldn't bark if they didn't get stressed. When you exercise, you get really stressed. You overload your muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, joints, heart and lungs, endocrine system, central nervous system. That's called stress. And again, when you get stressed, overcome the stress, overcome the exercise, overcome the weight, overcome the hassle, the challenge, the problem, the anxiety, all the things that people get stressed about, you feel really good afterwards. So the only challenge, could it be that you don't get rid of the stress? You don't kill the wild animal, you don't run away from it, you allow it to stay inside your system, and that's the challenge. Because when your catecholamine system goes into overdrive, epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol are the ones that increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate, increase your blood sugar levels so that you can fight. Shuts everything else down, so your sexual drive doesn't work, you're not hungry, you don't need to pee. There's nothing that goes on except get away from the threat. But can you imagine if you don't disperse that? Now things don't work very well because you're not hungry, or you eat too much. There's a lot of people that when they're stressed, they really eat a lot. Even if you're thirsty, you don't drink. If you want to have a cuddle, you don't want one because you're stressed. Your body doesn't work well under stress except to get away from the threat. So all the beautiful things in life can't be enjoyed when you're stressed because your body just says, well, we've got to get away from the threat. Now, when you've got glucose, blood sugar, and that's that all it is. It's just glucose or sugar in your bloodstream. Those big glucose molecules are the ones that cause the damage. They're not meant to be in your bloodstream. They're meant to be in your muscles for carbohydrate, glycogen, so that you can fight and flight. Glucose is meant to be in your brain, so that you can think clearly, be more creative, and overcome challenges. Not in your bloodstream. Those big glucose molecules, insulin, the hormone that takes the glucose out of your bloodstream and puts them into your muscles, your brain and your liver, none of that works well when you're stressed. So you've got to overcome the threat, overcome the stress, not let it run around rampant in your body. Because if you're not at ease, now you have dis-ease. And I'll share that again. That's why is it possible that that's why I've got so many sick, diseased people, because they're under stress and they don't get rid of the stress. So what's the best way to do it? So I'm outside, and I don't know if you can see how beautiful the sky is, but one of the things that really de-stresses me is I come outside, breathe fresh air, get sunshine or look at the sunset or the sunrise, and then exercise my ass off, literally as hard as you possibly can at 100% effort. Because that's the fight and flight system. Your hormones now believe that because you're under threat, you need to get away from the threat or fight the threat. So everything works brilliantly. You can sprint hard, you can punch hard, you can skip, you can jump, you can run through soft sand, you can climb stairs, you can do anything that's going to put your body under stress. Your body's ready to do that. And now, after you have overcome the threat, and that's the beautiful thing about, and I don't even like to call it exercise, I just call it the phosphate system, which is the fight and flight system, which is 10 seconds of high intense activity, fight and flight, and after that your body produces those beautiful happy chemicals. Now I want dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor, endorphins when I come and play with my puppy dogs. And that's one of the most de-stressing things. When you pat a puppy, they get oxytocin, the love drug goes through their body. And humans get oxytocin, we get the love drug through our body. So the human body, animals' bodies, I think as well, are designed to be happy, healthy, fit and strong. And that's what the hormonal system's all about. Overcome a threat, stay alive. Be happy, fit, strong, healthy, energetic, thrive, so that you can reproduce. Now, if you're as old as me, obviously reproduction's out of the question, and none of my dogs are going to be reproducing because they've all been de-sexed. But because you feel really good, then life is so much better. So if you're not overcoming the stress, overcoming the threat, and here's the only thing, the best way, some people drink, some people take drugs, some people gamble, some people go shopping, but all of that is a quick fix, a short fix, and it doesn't get rid of the stress. Especially if you spend lots of money if you go gambling or shopping. What you want to do is get your heart rate up as high as possible so that your whole body goes into overdrive, as if you were running away from a wild animal or you were going to fight a wild animal. Then once you've stopped, which is 10 seconds phosphate system, and that's the beautiful thing, the intense activity only has to last for a short period of time, and it only can because the phosphate system, 100% effort system, is only 10 seconds. So if I want to de-stress, I punch the bag, skip rope, do squat jumps, do push-ups, run through soft sand, kick the bag, cross trainer, treadmill, doesn't matter, as long as I get overloaded. Now, the really important thing, of course, is not to get injured, because all activity, all exercise should be safe, effective and fast. Now, phosphate system is fast and it's very effective, but for it to be safe, you don't want to be, one of the things I don't use is the treadmill. I don't just jump on the treadmill for 10 seconds and go as hard as I can, but I can do that with boxing. I do that with the cross trainer. I can do jump squats on the spot. I can sprint on the spot. They're all de-stressing things. So number one, is stress good? Absolutely. How could we wake up without it? Our body wouldn't work without it, because everything in your body is designed to overcome stress. When you have overcome it, you feel fantastic. And then you can come out and literally thoroughly enjoy what I'm experiencing at the moment. Can you please take note of this amazing, amazing sky? Now, if I was stressed and angry and anxious and annoyed and I was in my office on the phone or strolling through social media and scrolling through social media, getting annoyed by what's happening in the world. And here's a great thing when it comes to stress. If I can't control it, if I can't fix it, if I can't change it, if there's nothing I can do about it, then I don't worry about it, I don't stress about it. Why would I? I can't change it. If I can change it, if I can fix it, Is it possible that stress is caused when you don't? If you've got a challenge in your life and you don't fix it. So if you're overweight, if you're fat, if you're sick, if you're tired, if you're unenergetic, if you're out of shape, and you don't fix it, is it possible that you'll be stressed because you're not fixing a challenge? But if you are overweight, sick, diseased, fat, unenergetic, all things going wrong with your body, and you go fix it, so you get fit and you get strong and you get healthy, then of course you get rid of the stress. So don't stress about the things that you can't change. Why would you? Because you can't change them. Yes, get stressed about the things that you can change and then go change them, and then your body will be filled with happy drugs, dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor, endorphins, oxytocin. You'll feel fantastic. And when you feel fantastic, and you can come out and see things like this, you will actually live your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. Check out my puppy dogs, they're so gorgeous. Hello kiddos, woohoo! Relax now, aren't you? Not stressed. Ha ha.